Yo, what's up, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. This is Social Primate episode 14. Thank you guys for tuning back in again. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. If you didn't, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, you have failed me at this point. But for those who did listen, thank you guys for tuning in. I still have really, really high hopes for everybody here. But let's get back to business. Today's episode revolves around relationships, some of the do's and don'ts in them. We talk about dating. It's honestly a really light and fun conversation in regards to those topics. I went ahead and added some questions on Instagram, and a whole lot of you responded with some really, really good answers, and I am really deeply thankful for that. I know you guys took a moment of your time out of your day to respond, and I greatly appreciate it. So thank you to everybody who did. And if you stick around at the end of the episode, you will hear a shout out to those who did. Today's guest is a longtime friend, Leo, and a friend, Mayra. They're both really cool. They're really down to earth. And honestly, it was a really fun conversation. So don't come in here expecting some deep fucking professional advice, because if you need that, I suggest you reach out to somebody who really knows what the fuck they're talking about. But without much further ado, today's music is, let's find out who this is while I pull up this thing on my phone, because my phone's being super slow. We got Silvandgold with her song LOCKSMITH that features Flight and Doe the Savior. Now this track is fucking fire. I had the chance to see her perform at Shenanigans Studios a few weeks ago at a rooftop show, and honestly, she blew me away. So check it out. Here's a preview, the next 30 seconds of the preview. If you want to hear the full track, stick around at the end of the episode, and go ahead and follow her, show some support. Other than that, again, we're on Spotify, so check that out. Check it out on SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, I think I mentioned that already, and all the other cool spots. So thank you guys again for the support. Deeply appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy the conversation. Peace.
Yeah. Though to save your flight, silver and gold. We'd like to welcome you to the Newman. Hey, silver and gold, talk to him.
Okay, here we go. Coming like cocaine in the hood, inside the snoot of young brothers that swear they good because they sparingly use like we all should. They guarantee hip-hop shows only, so it's okie dokie recreation with the homies. No need for doting over rare shooting ups and things as such. Stick in the mud, I am accused of, they disapprove of, but I hate very much that drugs have jurisdiction over the hip-hop that I love. And I know she's not participating. She's not the type to be hating herself to cause harm to her body. That is a gift from God. She's well thought out about her value and her job and the impact she's had among us all. Fifth element, her soul. So I'm convinced that she's hostage. Help me call the locksmith. That is our knowledge bonded with rhetoric. Power couple breaking bondage. From Ike's grip, Tina sprint. When you hear me spit from a distance, cause I'm disallowed to be adjacent. From testicles to sensitive with words so basic. Blocking entrances, door is changing. Chapo's accommodation, but you're really undertaking the burdens of humanity.
And I think we're live, man. I have a quick question though. Technical difficulty. I have this thing disconnected. It's right underneath. All right, cool. Oh, I found it. I can feel it with my fingers.
That's what she said.
I think I got it. First try. Put it in the hole. Yeah, that was probably
not very common.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have problems with that,
It's an awesome start.
But hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. For everybody tuning in, this is the Social Primate, and today I have two very special guests and two very cool friends. I have Leo and Mayra today. Thank you guys for coming out. How you guys been?
Good. Very excited to be here. I don't sound like I'm very excited, but I genuinely am super hyped to be here.
Yeah, if you guys are tuning in right now to the podcast, you're probably only listening to on YouTube at the moment, but you should hear the audio and probably by tomorrow or Thursday. But other than that, what's up, Leo? You didn't even say hi.
Oh, hey guys.
People are watching you right now. They're like, who's this guy?
I just want to give a shout out to Social Primate for having us here tonight. I'm really excited. It's my first time on the, well,
kind of.
There's been another time with the previous affiliate. Yeah. But yeah, very excited to give you guys a little insight on healthy relationships.
Yeah, that's what we're here for today.
Yeah, and also a little bit on the dark side, the toxic relationships.
Yeah, because sometimes these are things people don't really want to talk about. We're not necessarily. I mean, we're not relationship experts, for sure. But for sure, I think it's important to have the conversations. And we're normal people who experience normal emotions and feelings, and we go through every type of situation. We've all gone through our own situation, and I think every now and then it's good to talk about it to kind of realize that you're not the only one, and there's people out there in the same positions, so that's what we kind of want to go for today, go deep.
Yeah, and hopefully all the listeners out there can relate to what we're talking about, and maybe you guys should chime in too if you want.
Oh yeah, that's right. If you guys are tuning in, I have a phone number here. If you guys want to call, it's 323-743-3731. I believe the lines are open if you guys want to just ask us any questions, or maybe give us feedback if we're bullshitting, or correct us. So feel free to tune in, man. Any attention is some good one. But with that being said, I think we should start. So today what I went ahead and did was I reached out to the people, to the public, to try to give us some input into what they think. I don't know, not what the norm is for them necessarily, but what their opinions are on certain questions or certain topics having to do with relationships. So let me see, what can we get started with here? Let me see here. First of all, are you guys comfortable right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable actually.
All right, because it's gonna go deep, and hopefully we can be honest about it. There's certain things we might not want to necessarily talk about, but I think once we break through, we should be good. Go. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do this.
All right, sounds good. So first of all, I also want to give a thanks to everybody who took their time to respond to the questions. I know a lot of people just kind of watched them and ignored them, douchebags. But those who actually took the time, I'm really grateful, and we want to give you a shout out for that. We won't give out your names, so your secret's safe with us. Your opinions are safe with us. But yeah, so one of the first questions I asked today was, let's see here. You can find these on Instagram. It was, wait, that's the wrong one. Should men pay for every date? Now, that's something I've been seeing around, you see on comment boards and shit, and people are like, no, you should go half and half, or some girls are like, no, he should pay for everything. Otherwise, why does he have a girlfriend? So, what do we do, man? What do we do? We're in a different age, where people want equality, but at the same time, they still want the, what is the word I'm looking for? Chivalry? Yeah. So, what do you guys think?
Well, you're a man, so I think we could let you answer, from your perspective.
Yeah, Leo, you pay for every date, first of all.
All right. So, I'm going to keep this simple. I would love to pay for every date. Unfortunately, the way my bank works sometimes, that's not necessarily the case.
Or it doesn't work sometimes.
Hey, it happens, man. It's not because you can't do it.
Yeah. I think men should, if they're gonna ask a lady out on a date, they should probably keep in mind that they're gonna pay. I think.
Yeah. In regards to the first date.
In regards to the first date, if you make the bold move to ask the girl out, I think it's expected for the man to pay. Mm-hmm. Although sometimes it's very nice when the girl pays.
It is nice. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's like, ooh, she's taking care of me. But what do you think? You're coming from the female perspective. Is that something that is important to you, or what do you think? Give us a general view of things.
So I personally feel like no, a man doesn't always have to pay. So the way that I was personally raised, my parents told me el que invita paga, which is basically whoever invites has to pay. Mm-hmm. So if I ask somebody out on a date, then I fully expect myself to pay, and I would want that mutual understanding of hey, if I invite you, I gotta pay, and if you invite me, you gotta pay. So it doesn't really matter who initiates, but I could see from a certain perspective why some people would expect men to pay, because not to get super political or anything, but men kind of do make more than women oftentimes, and But I don't necessarily think that means that like, men always have to pay. It's just a matter of like who asked who.
Yeah, it's like a mutual understanding.
Yeah.
And I guess at this point, like respect, right? I mean, I would like to think that. I mean, at least for me, my parents are Mexican or they're Hispanic, so they come from a time where things were done differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that you like. You know, si eres el hombre, you're gonna be the one taking care of. You're the man of the house. You're taking care of whoever the fuck you're with. And I think that still stands for a lot of people's parents. You know, or at least or older generations. That you know, I've heard it for myself. Like, ¿qué no paga? He doesn't pay. It's like, nah. It's like, you know, there's a mutual understanding where everybody's helping each other in a sense, and you're finding common ground to kind of, you know, I don't know, not help each other, but kind of just make each other feel like good about each other. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, parents are a whole different thing, and I think at some point that does have a impact in how we're raised and how we see those type of things. But I mean, let's ask the public. What does the public say? Because the public had some really good questions, man. I mean, some answers. So people kept saying, like, the majority of people didn't want to agree that everybody should find a common ground, and you know, you pay, I pay, we take care of each other type of thing. But there is some people who say, especially dudes, there was dudes that were really saying no, like, nah, we shouldn't pay for everything. I mean, I don't know why they would say that. Coming from a man, I don't know, why will I say no? Let me think. I mean, bank account's one of the reasons why, maybe.
Yeah, I also think maybe like, what are your intentions with this new partner of yours, you know? Is it somebody that you just want to hang out with, you just want to be friends with them, or do you want a courtship? I think that all goes into play, because if you want to start dating this person, I think paying can be a form of maybe like impressing the partner, you know?
Yeah.
Another thing I've seen in my previous experiences, a lot of women take advantage of that.
Do they?
And
do I take advantage of that? No, right? I feel like I like to. I'm sorry, I'm not making this about me. I was like, wait, what previous experience? With who?
Yeah, Leo, with who? Tell the world.
Well, for example, like, we go out to a nice dinner and everything, and, you know, they decide to get the steak or the fried calamari with the tomato sauce. Right? But, you know,
what you were saying about the intentions, like, what your intentions are.
Yeah, what are your
so I guess it depends on the person that you start seeing, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I also think I have a theory that there's levels to it, you know? There's like maybe the first dates or so, you know, you come to an agreement with your partner and take turns paying. But you know, sometimes you just want to get to know the person. Yeah. And you don't mind spending those couple of 20s.
The Benjamins.
Just a couple, though. Very clear.
No, I mean, that makes sense, because I mean, I for sure, you know, you don't want to look like a cheap ass, first of all, you know, and at the end of the day, you also don't want to be the guy who's having your shit paid for. You know, but it does feel nice, you know, when, you know, your partner does, you know, hey, let's get some tacos, and then they spot you, and it's like, oh, fuck, thank you, you know, like, you feel grateful for it. And I'm not sure how it feels from, you know, your end, but I would assume it feels like you're taking care of your man, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like when I've gone out with someone and I've like offered to pay and they turn it down, like, it's almost like insulting. Like,
insulting to you?
Yeah, like, to me, because it's like, hey, like, you know, you take care of me pretty well, and like, you know, you foot the bill a lot of times, and like, I kind of want to treat you to something, and to be like, no, it's fine. It's like, oh, fuck. So that, because then it's like, I don't want the whole thing like, oh, I always pay for everything, like, from a man's perspective, especially if like I've offered to pay, you know, like, it would be nice to let me step up and like take care of you every once in a while, or like even like half of the time, because like for a woman to pay only sometimes, like, I don't know, I feel like that is taking advantage of like a man's, you know, pocketbook, and being like, well, he always pays for everything, so I don't have to worry about it. Like, I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, there's always gonna be people on different sides. Like there's gonna be dudes who say like, nah, you gotta pay for shit, you know, like you gotta step up. And there's girls who are also gonna be like, yeah, if you don't pay for my shit and stuff, fuck you. You know, they don't say it like that, but you know, they're inclined,
ass.
you know, like they've been accustomed to a culture of being taken care of, you know. You know, and it's fair enough, you know. That's why those certain people meet those other type of people, and then they get along. But then it's when two of those opposites clash, and it's like, oh fuck! It's like, what is that fucking dog movie? The one with the old homeless dog and the rich dog. I forgot the fucking movie.
Oh, Lady in the Trap.
Lady in the Trap. There you go. But the lady, she's classy, and she doesn't care that he's a bum dog. That's the other type of people you'll find, you know. But the whole point of this is just, you know, basically. I personally think it's healthy for people to take care of themselves, and you know, like you said, for the guys who kind of get defensive, I think that's, you know, there's something going on there. They feel like their masculinity is like kind of being attacked. You know, that's a whole different topic, but it's true, man. You know, do you guys have anything else to input for this?
Can I share a different perspective? So in a past relationship that I was in, then like it was a pretty serious like committed relationship, but. Like, so we would, well, he wouldn't pay for everything, but like, and it wasn't expected for him to pay for everything, but then kind of like all of a sudden he just switched up on me and was like, hey, how about when we go out, like we each pay for ourselves?
Damn, that's a whole other level.
That's a whole nother level. And so I was like, dude, that's not even like a date anymore. We're just like hanging out as friends. Like that's how it seems, because you know, when you go out with your friends, like a lot of the times it will be like, oh, like I'll order my shit and then you'll order your shit, and then, you know, 2 separate tabs. But yeah, like to be with someone like and go out like on a, I guess, like date, and then for them to be like, pay for yourself, like that's not a date. That's like, yeah, just us chilling, hanging out, like, you know, we were going home in separate cars kind of thing. Like it was very strange, because like the way I've seen it is like, okay, you pay for this date, and then next week I'll pay for that date, and then the week after that, like we'll alternate. But to have to pay for myself was like, yikes. Like it was a different experience, and like it was kind of like a deal breaker for me to some extent, because it would feel very awkward like going somewhere, and like, not that I care what people's opinions are, and I've never like given a fuck, but like in my eyes, in my opinion, it was like, oh fuck, I guess we're just friends now.
Yeah. So I mean, how do we get out of that? Like what? I guess, what was I gonna ask? I fucking forgot.
I think Mayra brought up some good points too. Like, what constitutes a date? Is it when, you know, one person pays for everything, or is it just hanging out? What do you guys think constitutes what a date is?
I mean, is
it just chilling at your pad watching Netflix, or is it actually going somewhere and, you know, spending that dough?
I mean, I would think a date means just in any form hanging out.
Yeah.
Like just spending time with somebody, but. You know, like she stated earlier, like, you know, if I'm fucking with somebody and, you know, hey, you want to hang out and I'll buy you ice cream. Or, you know, it's not necessarily a big thing, but you're taking kind of charge and like, hey, I'm going to spot you an ice cream or something, or te estoy invitando. Then I would say that kind of leans more towards a date, you know, instead of like, hey, you want to get some ice cream and you buy your own sundae? Then it's like, oh, fuck, you know. But I think it's important too, because I mean, if that relationship that you have with that person develops into a longer commitment thing, it becomes, you know, it's important, because that's, you know, at some point you're going to be sharing financial stuff with them, you know. So I don't know, I think it's a pretty good indication of what you're getting yourself into right from the get-go. Or I mean, I don't know if people have that conversation all the time, like, hey, let's sit down and talk about how we're going to spend on our dates, you know. But I don't know, do you think it should be a conversation? It'll be an awkward conversation though.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know, in our society, like, it's very undertone, right? It's very in the shadows, because you know, I find it offensive when people ask me about my salary, because, you know, I wish I would be making more.
And don't we all? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
So it will definitely be progressive if somehow we could start talking about those things with our partners. But I think it takes some time, and it takes some getting to know, you know, each other's spending habits, because that's a big thing too. one time I went on a date, and this lady friend of mine, she wanted me to choose what to buy. You know, it was kind of awkward because I didn't really know her, you know. So
she wanted to buy you stuff.
No. Let me clear that up.
Okay.
So I got the menu, or we both got the menu, but she like pushed for me to to order everything. Yeah. So, you know, I ordered some appetizers here and there, skipped the entrees, and then probably got some water, some Chardonnay. But yeah, but it was weird because at the end of the day, when it was time for me to pay, like, I ordered everything, so it felt kind of like
it was very strategic on her part. Like, I didn't buy anything.
Yeah, she's like planning it.
Yeah, like, you chose, you pay.
Yeah,
that was sneaky.
Yeah,
gotta write that one down.
Yeah, listeners, you can take some tips on that. You know,
ladies,
or gentlemen.
Oh yeah, that's
true.
gentlemen.
But yeah, we didn't really hang out much after that, just because that was like a deal breaker for me too, you know. It was an awkward situation for me to choose everything on the menu, and then whether she liked it or not. But yeah,
I mean, for sure, it's definitely a deal breaker. I think that's one of those deal breaker things. Like, if you know, I guess if you don't kind of cling at that point, or like link at that financial point, you're like, nah, I'm bouncing. But hey, it's cool. I mean, again, if those people aren't for you, then you really shouldn't pursue it, you know, unless you really want to.
Yeah, so to just clarify for the viewers, what is a deal breaker? What does that word even mean?
Deal breaker in relationships or dating?
Both.
In both.
Yeah, because
okay. I mean, I'll start. A deal breaker for me would just be, you know, like, I don't know, not understanding in regards to that you're also your own individual person. You know, you have your own things going on, and you know, if one is not necessarily okay with that, it'll make things a lot more difficult to adjust. You know, because everybody's their own person. You know, and the last thing you want to do is feel like you're either being controlled or you're controlling somebody. You know, and that's a main deal breaker for me. But you know, what's your deal breaker, Leo?
Oh, I just wanted to clarify what a deal breaker is. You mean like that's it? You're not gonna see that person anymore, or you're not gonna court them anymore? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I probably won't see them anymore.
Oh, okay. So it's ending the dating relationship. That's what a deal breaker is, right? Mm-hmm. Interesting. Mayra, you got a take on it?
On like my personal deal breakers, or what I think a deal breaker is?
You know, because I was kind of confused.
Yeah.
Oh, the second question.
On what a deal breaker is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just like when you realize that like that person isn't for you. It could be like something really little, because some people are very nitpicky, or it could be something really huge, like, I don't know, someone being like a rapist or something, which is very extreme. I shouldn't have said that, but yeah, like, you know, something like really, like it takes people sometimes like very drastic, serious things to be like, oh, that's a deal breaker, you know. And then for some people it'd be like, oh, he doesn't like ketchup on his fries, like that's a deal breaker, you know.
Yeah, super simple.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's go on to the second question of the day here. We have, is it okay to talk to your exes while being in a new relationship?
No.
There you go.
No.
Straightforward.
No.
I mean, there's a, you know, going based on some of the people's reactions here, you know, somebody says depends if there's unfinished business. But what kind of unfinished business should you have when you're in a relationship already?
Oh, maybe if like they have a child together.
That makes sense.
Or there's like investment properties. I don't know. They're like business
investment properties.
No,
fuck, gotta
joking.
get divorced.
Yeah, fuck. If that's what they mean by business, like, I don't know, they co-own something together, or like they co-own a child together. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, for sure. I mean, if you find yourself that you have a, you know, either baby daddy or baby mama, then, you know, of course there's going to be contact with that. Mm-hmm. But I think at that point, you know, it's different for sure, you know, because I think as long as those people understanding, they can continue, but in a mature level without it being any sort of intimate physical relationship, you know. And that's what I also considered as unfinished business. But outside of that, I don't really see what else can be considered unfinished business. Because Again, people need to understand that unless you're really like, if you're not over your shit with your past people, like there's no reason why you should jump into another relationship, you know? Like, just saying it because there's a lot of people who tend to do it, you know, because they think they're ready, or they're just a rebound, or they just find a rebound. And I think it's probably the worst because then you're gonna fuck somebody else, like somebody else's feelings up.
Yeah.
But yeah, people, no, it's not okay to talk to your exes, right, Leo? You say that too?
Yeah, of course. You know, out of respect for the relationship, you shouldn't be, you know, entertaining your previous lovers. It's definitely disrespectful. Although sometimes it happens, but not because you want to, just because, you know, you happen to run into them, let's say at the store or something. Yeah, right. So let's just say hypothetical question here, or a hypothetical scenario. Let's say your ex does reach out to you, but it never moves past like regular casual conversation, like, hey, how you been, or like, oh, you know, just small fucking talk that has nothing to do with anything. Then is that okay? But
even then, it's like if you no longer have like a certain like I guess like when you're in a relationship with someone, you set like boundaries, you know, like, oh, we're in a relationship and this is what we can and can't do. But if you're outside of, or you're no longer in a relationship with someone, like, why would you need to like check up on them? You know, like, even if you're on not good terms, because there's still some like caring going on, and like you still want to see how that person's doing, which means that like you probably still have feelings for them, which is, you know, it's fine to have feelings for people after a relationship, but reaching out is like, in my opinion, like a bit of an extreme, because I feel like I've done that in a past relationship where like I broke up with someone, and then even then I was still like, hey, how are you, because I was still trying to like spark something up to see if it was gonna work out, and it didn't, and I was like, well, that's that. You know, after it didn't happen, I'm like, well, it's like for sure over. Like, I can't really force it, and I'm not gonna like continue talking to someone if like that same energy isn't there. Yeah, right.
I mean, it for sure. If you're not seeing anybody in that sense, you know, I think that makes it normal. But fuck, I don't know, man. There's just so many factors. You know, you don't know what that person, what the relationship was like before. Fuck, I don't even know what to say at this for this one. It's a very gray area, like it's very tricky. Yeah, because you don't want to seem like you're still caring unless you really want to, but
unless you're like an obsessive ex.
Yeah.
Unless you're just fucking chilling, you're okay with just, you know, talking to your old people.
But does the ex like know you're in a relationship? Like, is a person reaching out to you like aware? But also, okay, so I guess there's two sides to it. So like, if you're in a relationship and your ex reaches out to you, then like, you know, it's up to you really to decide whether you're gonna respond or not. So you could just be like, oh, whatever, ignore, delete message, whatever. But if you're in a relationship and you reach out to your ex, I think that's just like plain disrespectful, because like out of respect for your relationship, like Leo said, like why would you entertain past lovers, even if it's just a hey, how are you? Like you shouldn't be checking up on people that you're no longer with. You know, especially if like you gotta. Well, I don't know. It depends, like the context of the situation, but like, I think ultimately, like, nah.
Yeah, that's probably something you shouldn't do. I mean, it's tempting for sure. You know, sometimes you want to just do it. You know, and maybe not everybody feels that way. Some people definitely don't feel that way. But man, just don't be a fucking homewrecker, man. Like, especially if you know they're seeing somebody, or you know that you're seeing somebody and you're still entertaining that idea, dude, you're fucked up. Like, for reals, you know, because I would say that I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me, you know? Like, I personally feel like I wouldn't do that to anybody. But we're all human. You know, we all have our temptations, you know? We're all gonna be tempted by fucking something. But it's up to us to kind of, like, get level-headed and say, no, I'm not gonna cross that line, you know? We can always cross that line if we really, really fucking want to. But as of right now, the fact stands that no, you shouldn't talk to your exes. You know, and don't entertain that idea.
Okay, but what if?
Unless you
excuse me, I'm talking. Don't talk over me. So what if this is like a relationship that was like years ago, right? Because like we're like in our mid-20s, right? But like, what if this was someone that like you dated in like middle school, high school, right? And say like you had a pretty, I wouldn't say like committed relationship, like how committed could you be when you're like young, you know? But like, what if it's like someone that, you know, you dated like in 9th grade, which was fucking like what, 20 years ago for you? I'm just kidding.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah,
kidding.
it was. No, 10.
That's like, I'm joking, but like, yeah, what if it's someone that's like, hey, what have you been up to? It's been such a long time, haha. Like, what are the intentions there? Like, do you really think that they're trying to like hook up with you, or that they're genuinely curious as to like, hey,
Like, yeah.
you know, like, I guess it really depends, like, the context. But if it's more so like, oh, I dated this person 2-3 years ago and they're hitting me up, then it's like, yeah, should you respond?
Yeah, that's
right?
a good point. That's a good point, because you know, if you have like a childhood fucking crush, it's like, hey, how you been? I'm like, oh fuck, hey, what's up? But again, like, I think, you know, you let it go as far as you want to. You know,
Yeah,
that's always
that's
going to be
very
the
true,
case.
yeah.
Like, if you know yourself that you don't want to be in that position, like, whether you're doing it or not, if I tell myself no, then dude, that's the end of it. But I think that also has to do with yourself as a person. Like, you know your own, you know, fucking limits.
I think the only time it's okay to hit up your ex is when you
want
know
your stuff back.
When you want your stuff back,
Hey, where's
laptop,
my shirt?
camera,
where's my shirt?
bike.
Camera.
Your
laptop.
bike.
I'm just telling you from previous
He knows.
experience.
Yeah, he knows.
And that's another question I have. But before we get into that, I think the only time it's okay to hit up your ex is when, you know, you're not really happy in the relationship that you're in now.
Damn, that's
And-
desperate. That's
Deep,
honestly, that's
yeah.
probably the little desperation though.
And you just want to, you know, go back to the old good old days.
Yeah, but
Are
I
you
mean,
speaking from experience? Ooh,
Negative.
No, you hesitated.
No, I
you
had something in
hesitated.
my mouth.
No, you hesitated.
Let's see. When did I hit up my ex?
Leo?
Actually, I did hit up my ex once, but I wasn't in a committed relationship. I was, you know, vacilando, you know, at
Okay,
the
but
clubs.
that's like what we're
Is
saying,
that
like
different?
when you're in a relationship.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like I think we've all hit up exes in a moment of like loneliness. Hey, what are you?
Yeah,
up
like,
to?
hey, what are you up to?
2 a.m. Hey, you up? You know, like,
Those are the best.
everyone's been there, I think.
Best text.
The best text.
And then you're
Fuck.
And I see him at 8 in the morning.
And then you're like, oh fuck, what did I do? Nah, it's not like that all the time. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll know when we should be doing that. I think you should know. Otherwise, you also know when you're not doing something that you shouldn't be doing. You know? But for the people who said it, people are saying no. And it's funny because it's a lot of women who say no. A lot of the dudes were like,
Interesting.
Sure.
What are the dudes saying?
the dude saying, let me see
To
here.
our listeners out there, what are y'all people thinking about, huh?
Yeah, some guy said, yeah, to make them suffer. I was like, damn. What kind of relationships are you doing, man?
Oh, that's interesting because, you know, word around the street, not saying from my experience or anything, that is it true that women hit up, you know, their exes when they see them in a happy relationship,
To home wreck?
you know? Does that happen? Does anybody know out there? If you do, please call. We'd like to hear your experience.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, fuck. I don't know, man. I mean, it's again, it's just a gray area because it's just difficult, dude. I don't know. There's many scenarios you can put yourself in, and it's either gonna be wrong or right. But just home wrecking, it's not cool, man. It's not cool at all.
It's, you know, it's hedonism.
Hedonism.
Thank you. You know, deriving, like, just following your pleasures. It's very self-interest, you know,
Yeah.
motivated by self-interest. And then to some people, you know, they don't really care about what others think, you know. It's all about their life.
But yeah, but it costs other people shit too, man. But I mean, like that guy said, like, to make them suffer. Like, what's the end game with that? You're trying to, like, in a way, what's the word I'm looking for? Hold them hostage in a sense. You know, like, hey, I have these people fucking ready and stuff. I don't know, but I've heard that around too. Like, there's this meme it shows. I think like once the girl stops posting or takes some pictures off her ex off her Instagram.
Oh yeah.
That there's just a guys waiting in line already, just to kind of be like, hey, what's up? And it's happened. I know a friend who that happened to. As soon as that they broke up with their boyfriend, they took off the pictures online and stuff, and then boom, she already had fucking people saying, hey, let's hang out. It's like, damn. Like, what do you do then? Like, what do you do, man? You can't do anything.
That did happen to me once, except we weren't like, it wasn't an ex, it was someone who had like previous interest in me, and so I guess through social media, like, they found out I was single, but they went about asking me in a way that wasn't like upfront. Like, they were just like, oh, so how's your like boyfriend? And I was like, oh, we're not together anymore. And so then years later, when I brought that up again, he was like, oh yeah, I knew you were single, but I didn't want to be super upfront about it, so I just acted like I didn't know. And so I guess, yeah, like, people are kind of like waiting to see, like,
yeah, right, they're kind of just
so what is the best pickup line
to
hit up somebody that's just recently single?
I don't know. I think that's very hit or miss, because like, you could hit somebody up and then they could be like, oh yeah, sure, and then you could have somebody who's like, oh, like, nah, I'm not trying to hang out, like, I'm getting over someone.
I mean, I would say it's a little, because if you think back to when we were younger, like, what, let's just go back to like being 14 and stuff. What was the way? That's what, 2004? Like 2004, right?
No game.
No game. So let's say 14, right? So just think back, being at your young age.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
How are you approaching either guys, or how are girls approaching you? Or let's just say you go back then, before the fucking internet.
MySpace. Oh wait, no, before the internet.
Yeah, yes.
Before MySpace?
How you approach people? You have to either meet them physically, I'm assuming, or you come across them, right?
Proximity.
And then, they have to be in your class.
And then through that,
not even your school, just your class. Oh yeah, that would be true.
Your homeroom.
Yeah. It's just like proximity.
Proximity.
Fuck. There you go. Proximity produces. I read this in a psychology book. If two people come together close enough, often there's a point, or there's going to be a point where they're going to somehow or some way develop some sort of closer, intimate relationship. So that's interesting. So
yeah, it's natural.
When she tells you, "Oh, it's just a friend," or she's just a coworker, don't believe it. That's how it starts.
I think we're saying just. You know that word?
Yeah.
It's not just.
Yeah, that's true. That's what really sealed it. Like, dude, he's a coworker. Like, he's just.
But I mean, you're allowed to have friends though too, right? You're allowed to have male friends, other girlfriends. But again, those limits, and you specifically put a commitment to one specific person. So I think, it should be okay, right? Because again, you don't want to have that restriction. At some point you learn that restriction it doesn't work for you. It's just gonna work against you. But going back to the previous question, what was the previous question?
Oh, please don't mind the sirens,
Yeah, it's an emergency service.
Coming from
silence for the victims.
Where are we coming from, Lalo?
Where what?
Where are we coming from?
Where are we coming from?
Yeah, the location.
This is Bell, California.
Bell,
California. Yep. Dude, I forgot the hell I was saying.
Southeast Los Angeles, everybody.
Yep.
Go
Cali.
Bulldogs, Elizabeth Learning Center.
Oh, fuck.
Bell Eagles.
Get weird.
Just kidding, I'm a Spartan.
Bell Eagles? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
HB.
Ooh, HB in the house.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck.
Southeast LA.
So, what was I saying? For being 14.
Oh, how would you get at somebody?
How are you getting at somebody?
That's notes. You write notes.
Yeah, so you write notes, right?
You'll
approach.
That doesn't happen no more.
You see, and nowadays, we got back on the train. Nowadays, it's so easy because you have Instagram, you have fucking Facebook, Snapchat, DM. So it's easy to just kind of like not put a face in front of somebody and say like whatever the fuck you want to say. Like, hey, let's fucking go out, let's buy some drinks. And I think it makes it easier, for anybody who says they've never done it. I think we all go through somebody's Instagram when we're trying to court them, so through those means you're able to find out like little things about them, and that kind of tailors the way you approach a specific person.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and it's easier because once you have an idea of how these people are, you already have a heads up of how you can what are you gonna do, how are you gonna like, hey,
Yeah.
Let's go to a fucking comic book convention or something, you know? I don't know, something.
Museums.
But it's so easy. And it's so easy for you.
Museums
just as it's easy to for
100.
other people.
All right.
As for other people to reach out to you, you know, because they know. And again, once they break up with you, you're going to see a fucking list of people pouring in like, hey, what's up? You're single? And then they'll know more stuff about you. Fuck. So let's see. Third question here. We got: is sexting considered cheating?
Yeah, let's move on to that one.
I mean, is it? I think it might be, because I think you're gonna get intimate.
Yeah,
Just reading those words, you're getting hot in your bedroom in the dark. Oh fuck, you know, and it gets steamy, and you start visualizing.
I think it's pretty, you know, obvious that, for me at least, that sexting is cheating. You know,
Yeah,
you're like virtually, you know, courting somebody, like.
You wouldn't call that courting, though.
Or
like,
not courting, but
smash.
like, yeah.
virtual
Like
smash.
Virtual smash.
Into anticipating, you know, some.
So do you think, like, I wouldn't think, okay, so somebody watching porn, being in a relationship, that's not considered cheating, right?
No.
No, because there's no connection, there's no intimacy with the person.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say for somebody let's say you join a webcam, or you join a webcam channel to see a guy or a girl just get off on each other, and you're like, hey, do this for me. At what point is that considered cheating, right? That would be considered cheating.
I don't think so.
No, you don't think so?
No, I don't think so. Like, if it's like one-on-one and there's some privacy and some intimacy, then yes.
But you're paying for it, so it's still considered cheating?
Is it like,
I mean, not
is
saying
it,
that
there's
it's
like a
like paying
bigger
for entertainment.
audience, or it's like, oh, pay to get in kind of
Pay-per-view.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I really think it depends.
Like on the person?
I don't.
I mean,
Yeah, like the situation, like, do you have a close bond with this person, or it's like you and like 10 other people watching the same thing, you know? Then it's transactional, and there's no like I would consider like disrespectful, but not cheating.
Okay.
But I think that's just my opinion, because I feel like maybe people will definitely disagree. I think
Yeah,
it's,
of
like,
course. Yeah, 'cause, I mean,
for sure.
I would say it's the intentions that you're going in with, you know, like, I mean, you can always address why you're going in there. Maybe you're not, you know, somebody's not putting out or something, you know, and that leads to the fucking stress, and you just gotta find a way to fucking exert yourself, you know. But yeah, I will consider it not cheating, but for sure, if it was one-on-one with somebody, like, let's say on Instagram or any other fucking social media, I think once it becomes personal, and then yes, it's like, whoa. First of all, you're capable of meeting this person at any point, and then I don't know, things will escalate, you know. I think things at that point will escalate, and I don't know, it'll be fun for that person, but it won't be fun afterwards until you get caught.
I think for some people, like, just watching porn alone is cheating, you know? What the hell? Why are you looking at her?
Yeah,
That's the girls
true.
you like?
Oh yeah, and then when they ask you with the question like, let me see what type of porn you watch, it's like, oh fuck, it's questionable.
Oh, yeah,
like,
you gotta tell
no,
them.
it's not a, I clean my,
Fellas. You gotta
fucking turn your
you gotta
phone and
tell
clear
them-
the browser
You gotta let
data.
her choose it. You gotta let her choose it, fellas.
which by the
Let her
way,
choose the porn. Don't
if
fall
it was-
into the trap.
I don't want to come off as a fucking pervert here, but I think up to a few weeks ago there was I just stumbled across a video in the midst of adult websites, and it was
Links
it was-
down below.
it was bee pollination. It was like the fucking video was just bees pollinating fucking flowers, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a big turn on. The
Yeah.
environment, yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure we can put one of those on, right, Drake? Yeah, for people who are watching fucking YouTube,
Actually, fun fact, bees are invasive species, y'all.
I told you that.
the bees are what?
Bees are an invasive species, so it doesn't really matter if they die or not. There's
Where did it come from?
All right, so right here we have two bees getting it on. Get it? What the fuck am I mumbling for? These bees are getting it on. Oh, not those bees.
Bumblebee?
Yeah, so videos that you find like on some adult websites, they have a lot of these being featured. As of a few weeks ago, I don't know as of right now. But for sure, it's a little weird. But I don't know. I mean, I do not find anything arousing about
Who
this.
put that
this
song? The lights just tuned.
Is this considered bestiality though? Like
No, I think. Oh,
bestiality.
damn.
The bee's knees.
I don't think this is bestiality would be considered if it's amongst a human and an animal, right?
Takes bee's knees to a whole nother meaning. Bees, get on your bee's knees.
Look at her eye. She's feeling that.
Just-
But yeah,
Yeah,
some people find this really fascinating for some reason.
There's like a bee at the window, like jacking
Oh.
off right now. Like,
Right, she's looking?
yeah.
That's a pretty little stinger.
Oh shit.
Do you think bees are like picked by like female bees based on the size of their stinger? Like, oh, whatever, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably the one that works the hardest.
Yeah, because isn't it just one female?
Is it?
Or is there multiple? I don't even fucking
Well,
know.
there's the queen bee, but no, yeah. I think-
Queen bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, there has to be more.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I
I'm
haven't
not
watched
Or is it the
Bee.
ants that only have the one?
How do you pick
It's
up on
ants.
queen bee though?
You don't. Shoot your shot, dude.
Then, yeah, you make it or you don't. I think she kills after. Oh no, there's an animal that will kill
Manatees.
manatees.
No, praying mantis.
Oh, praying mantis.
are, like,
After
marine
they finish
animals.
having sex, they'll just
Yeah.
fucking kill the male. Damn, dude.
Black
The animal
widows too.
kingdom.
Black widows will kill their mates.
You were
Praying
lucky. We're not like
mantis.
widows, man.
Hmm.
We're humans.
Yeah, but
But I think metaphoric. It's very metaphoric, right? Like sometimes, like you'll have sex with a woman and like she'll ruin your life. And I'm not saying it's like personal,
She'll
but
ruin your
like
life.
right, like
Yeah.
you know, like there's just women that you like interact with, or like women that you have relationships with that can tend to be like, you know, black widows. Like they'll rip your
Mm.
spiritual, emotional, psychological head off.
Yeah. I mean, there's a and it's surprising. I mean, it's not surprising, but like lioness. What are they called? The lioness, the female ones.
Yeah.
They fucking do all the hunting. You know, they're the top dogs at hunting, man.
Breadwinners.
And what does the guy do? Just like chill and like play with the cubs and occasionally go kill all the other cubs to mate with the new girl.
Damn.
Yeah, so the animal kingdom's crazy, man. So I'm not surprised that we have some weird behaviors, you know?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that puts it into perspective. Like we think we're so like high and mighty, like we're most civilized people, but like we be
number
doing
one
some weird
predators.
shit too.
Yeah, we do some weird shit, man.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So let's move on to the next question here.
Yes.
Should you change who you are in order to
Kinks.
impress somebody? Some people say, never. They were interested in being you, not you being fake or changing. Someone else says, no, but I think it's human to want to do that. I mean, I guess that one makes sense. Somebody else says, no, but the change is inevitable if you're building something long term. Other people say, no, hell no, take it or leave it. And somebody says, yes, always be a puppy. So I guess they mean to make yourself as cute as possible. I don't know, right? That's what I take from it. But yeah,
I would say that maybe in some context it could be a good idea, like if someone has knowledge about something that like you feel like you may not, and you know you change your pattern of behavior, or you change like the things that you say around certain people, then yeah, like I don't know, like if someone's, I don't want to say problematic, but if someone maybe has a certain opinion on something, right, and then they meet someone who gives them like a different opinion, and then you know they choose to like educate themselves on that, then I wouldn't say that changing yourself in that context is negative. But if it's to be like, oh, like this person likes these things and I don't, or this person, you know, likes to engage in certain behaviors that I don't, let me try to do that to impress them, then yeah, I think that's not okay. But just like with everything, you know, like context is like a really important part of taking these things into account. But I would say changing in a positive way, then fuck yeah, you know, like if that's gonna impress someone and say like, oh, you really changed, like you've improved a lot, then yeah. But if it's like, oh, like, you know, if it starts to strain your relationships with other people because you're trying to impress this person so bad, like, you know, say like you go out more than you do, or you try things that you don't normally try, and you know people see that as out of character for you, and the only reason you're doing it is to impress someone, then I don't think that's okay.
yeah, you know, because at some point that mask is they're gonna see through that mask. You know, I think they'll be like, oh shit, this is not typical behavior from this person, and I mean, not that it's a bad thing. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. You know, like you said, like when you do it just to impress somebody, to kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna go out with them and shit, trying to win them over, then yeah, because I think, like I said, at some point they're gonna see through that mask. They're gonna kind of really see who you are, that you're not the person that they started seeing, and things are kind of just gonna fall apart at some point, unless they're, unless you come out to a work agreement, some sort of fucking fuck, dude, the coffee is getting to me, man. I'm feeling super jittery.
Yeah, there's one time I back in my college days, go Gauchos, I wasn't a very successful college student, actually. I got kicked out of school the first time. Well, actually, multiple times, but we'll get into that another day. Like, I pretended to go to this one class just so I could hang out with this girl that I saw at school. And she thought I was taking the class, and man, I played it off like for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. After that, she was like, hey, you think you can take notes for me? Because I want to be absent. And I'm like, sure. And then I actually went to that class, and I was like, everyone was looking at me weird.
Oh, wait, so did you take the notes?
I did take the notes.
Oh,
and it only works for the introduction classes. Got everybody in there.
Nah, well, I mean, I think you should change for sure if it's for your own growth. Like if you're changing your habits, like certain habits that you at some point realize are not good habits, I think it's a good idea to, change towards what you want to do for yourself too. But because I don't think change for somebody else is always healthy, because you might feel a little resentment at some point. But I think, if you're a really aware person, you'll know, like, hey, this person cares about me, and if I need to make these changes to make something work, then hey, fuck it, you got to make those changes, man, because every now and then you're going to hear something you don't want. And you're either going to get defensive, or you're going to take it into consideration and, like, then try to put it in perspective and say, like, yo, maybe I do need to change something, for the betterment of myself, and it's also going to help the relationships around me. But yeah, if you're doing it for some bullshit, like you're just trying to get laid, dude, I mean, feel free to do it, but they're going to see through it, at some point.
Yeah. And people shouldn't, feel inclined to, change other people too,
Yeah. Because that's
to shape
the
them
thing.
and mold them to the way they want, like, that's a little bit toxic right there.
Yeah, so it's toxic relationships.
But it happens, it has happened to all of us at one point in time.
I mean, for sure. Unfortunate as it was, I think, I like to think that all your relationships experiences at the end of whoever you decide to kind of be with, it's just a culmination of what you learn. You can apply those to the next one, Hopefully you don't want to have the next one, so you learned enough. But I think you should still be open to those experiences, because again, you like something, they might like something else, and at some point you kind of want to be in the middle, because if you keep yourself closed also from that growth, dude, you're gonna see people start like pushing themselves away from you, But I think that was a pretty good one. I think you should, just do what you want, man. Do what you fucking want. No, but what were you gonna say, Leo?
I was gonna say that sometimes, it feels good when your partner, you guys share the same interests, or like same toxic behaviors. Like, if you find somebody that likes to smoke weed a lot, and y'all like to get baked all the time, that's fun. But then you just gotta, look at each other and see if, it's helping you out or not.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
But it's definitely fun to, find someone that you really like to have a fun time with. But, responsibly.
Yeah, it's like if you're a low-key alcoholic and they tell you, hey, man, you should probably change, like, and they're like, oh, that's a valid fucking reason. You're like, man, you should take care of yourself, and those are gonna affect your relationships for sure. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that again, dude. That's what happens when you smoke weed. So is that the timer right here?
Yep.
Okay.
You got 9.
All right, cool. So we got 9 minutes. So we'll just go through this last one, and we'll fucking kind of cover that. So should your parents weigh in on your relationship choices? So let's see here. Somebody put a dicho. It's in Spanish. Nadie va a ser suficientemente bueno, pero si eres feliz es lo único que me importa. What? Yeah, that makes sense. So I mean, nadie se va a ver suficientemente bueno. Nobody's gonna see themselves sufficient enough. But if you're happy, it's the only thing that matters. Got it. I get what it's saying now.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, basically, it's saying that if you feel like you're good enough or they're good enough, and you're happy, it shouldn't matter. You know. And I think that holds true because a lot of parents have a lot of holds against their mid to late 20, children. They're like, hey, no me gusta para ti. Like, it's like, oh, fuck.
A lot of expectations.
And then, talking from personal experience, I think it kind of affects, it also puts strain on the relationship when the parents aren't kind of being really helpful in regards to that or accepting of who the person is. Because, you want to bring them around. At some point, you want to make it, where everybody's, like, conviviendo. And everybody's, fucking vibing. And maybe you don't get along all the time, but there's no fucking strong tension in between, And, again, that's one of those things that I think if you're tied to what your parents think or what their parents think or how you think of their parents, I think it's just gonna add a bunch of strain to shit and unnecessary strain, because obviously at that point it's a relationship between you and who or that other person. I don't think, unless they're fucking your life up, like they're giving you meth and shit, and they're like, "Hey, mija, fucking stop that shit." Then that's understanding. But again, I think we should all be old enough to make our own decisions, or at least take yourself into account that your life is separate from what your parents were. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's just my shit. Like, I think people should be more open to how they feel towards somebody, or aware. Because as long as you're aware, you can see through their bullshit too. But.
I definitely think it depends on what kind of relationship you have with your parents. Like, if your parents have, given you healthy input about things in your life, and then suddenly they're like, I don't like this person, then I would definitely, think about considering it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like, if your parents are just very critical of you overall, and then they're just like, nothing that you do is ever enough, or nothing that you do is ever right for them, then I would say maybe, listen to them, but not really take it to heart, because, you could be dating the next person and they're
Mm-hmm.
probably still not going to be happy. But this reminds me of a story that someone told me once of someone they knew. Let's just make it as vague as possible. But so basically, this girl was like dating this guy, and her and her mom, I wouldn't necessarily say had like a strained relationship, because she didn't have much of a relationship with her mom because she was raised by her grandparents. But her mom came into her life like when she was like in her late teens, early 20s. And then her mom wanted to give input on like the guy that this girl was dating. And they actually came to me, they're like, well, what do you think I should do? And I was like, well, your mom hasn't really been there for you. She hasn't really, seen you throughout different relationships in your life, or like the kind of people that you date. Mm-hmm. And, despite being her mom, she had more of like a friendship with her, not so much as like a maternal figure, like someone to look up to. It was just like almost like if they were equals. Mm-hmm. And yeah, in that sense, I would say like, take it how you would take advice from a friend. Like, yeah, people would tell us, oh, I don't like this guy for you, but they're your friends. Like, what can they eventually really do? Like, murder one of you so you're not together, or like, literally like sabotage your relationship. But I think there have been cases of that where like parents will try to sabotage their relationships.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Their children's relationships, just because they feel like they have to be right, or like they super don't like that person for you. But those are very extremes, although I think they might happen more than we think. Like, I think it's something that I've seen from time to time with like Hispanic parents, like, oh, he has another girlfriend, or like, oh, are you sure you're the only one? I think I've seen him at the park with girls, like that's definitely
incepting those ideas.
Yeah, like, yeah, like, kind of lying to them, and just it's very toxic behavior. But I do think that it does happen, especially when we're younger, or predominantly when we're younger. But I mean, I wouldn't doubt it happening like later in life for some people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much influence certain people do or don't have from their parents, but yeah, I mean, like, well, fuck, before I fucking forget here, let me read some of these things. Some people put some good ones here. So like you said earlier, like depending if it's toxic or they beat you, then yes, they are protecting you. Which I'm sure anybody can tell you, like, dude, like that shouldn't be happening. Dude, man, I don't want to get into that story now because we're running out of time here, but that'll be for the next volume 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, some other what is it? Somebody else put, just always remember your morals. Yeah, I guess that's what parents advise. And then somebody says, no, they live their life. That's it. Make your own choices.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, you know, I think I agree on that one for sure. You should make your own choices in regards to how you date. You know, who you're dating, or because I mean, you're gonna learn as long as you don't get fucking murdered, you know, or murder suicide by the fucking guy, because that happened, man. Shit happened a few months ago.
Oh shit!
Damn, it got dark. But yeah. Anyways, I mean, we're getting pretty close there. Dude, the time flew. I didn't think it went that fast.
That was so fast.
I want to just give a quick shout out to some of the people. I won't give out their names, but you'll know your Instagram handle. I have SummerBabe06. Thank you for answering some of the questions. We have Boncito. We have V Happy. Aria Ann. Miss Giselle or Miss Giselle. Got Jessica Skyreal, Lens Eyes, Jay Woovie. That's a lot of girls. Shenanigans Studios, some guy named Blackwater Works, Ella Frant, Bomb in Los Angeles, Pussy Willow, Pearlies. So those are some of the people who took the time to respond. I appreciate it. You helped the conversation even when it got awkward. And we still have more bees here, so I think we'll exit with those bees. Yeah. All right, Leo, Mayra, thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you for listening, y'all.
Thank you for having us.
And then
DJ Leo.
My first podcast.
If you guys enjoyed it, just follow us on. Oh, I forgot to tell everybody, we're on Spotify now, so you can go on Spotify, hit the follow button, and then you'll be notified when there's new episodes. You can also mute those notifications and still follow us, so you don't get annoyed. And then you can find us on YouTube on the Super Audio Network. We are also on Spotify, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. And then I'm sure we'll have you guys here next time for Volume 2.
Can't wait. I have a lot of thoughts.
Dating 101.
Ooh.
The Social Primate edition. Well, yeah.
I was thinking about a bee pun, but...
A bee pun? Being dirty.
We'll be you later.
Well,
Just kidding. That was bad.
Alright.
That was kind of bad. But the song's done here. Alright, people. We're going to wrap this up before it gets more awkward. See you guys in 2 weeks. And then check the episode out on all those places I mentioned again. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you guys.
Dre, as always, thank you.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Thank you.
Or a good day. You don't know when they're listening to this.
Yeah, Leo.
Keep grinding.
Though to save your flight, silver and gold. We'd like to welcome you to the Newman. Hey, silver and gold, talk to him.
Okay, here we go. Coming like cocaine in the hood, inside the snoot of young brothers that swear they good because they sparingly use like we all should. They guarantee hip-hop shows only, so it's okie dokie recreation with the homies. No need for doting over rare shooting ups and things as such. Stick in the mud I am accused of, they disapprove of, but I hate very much that drugs have jurisdiction over the hip-hop that I love. And I know she's not participating. She's not the type to be hating herself to cause harm to her bot. That is a gift from God. She's well thought out about her value and her job and the impact she's had among us all. Fifth element, her soul. So I'm convinced that she's hostage. Help me call the locksmith. That is our knowledge bonded with rhetoric. Power couple breaking bondage. From Ike's grip, Tina sprint. When you hear me spit from a distance, cause I'm disallowed to be adjacent. From testicles to sensitive with words so basic. Blocking entrances, door is chained in. Chapo's accommodation, but you're really undertaking the burdens of humanity and trying to change them. Now you sit in darkness with drug like rubbish, but I'm coming. I hope the ones with high regard are running. I can only speak for me though, through a megaphone I'm uttering, but not like the captors that need sepulchre because they mumbling. We thinking of tunneling, vocal cord right away to the place we be huddling. Oratory art tools for the path we be shoveling. Melody so lovely. Intercede for us with God so obstacles to dissipate. God, listen to her, she's your favorite, and we promise to educate and mitigate for those that do not differentiate from the places we were raised in. Encounters that created us, taking the bus, very rough around the edges, but I'm grateful every day for the lessons that were testings that made me. Parents strictly teaching, it got ugly, but standards were created. A fear for God was born, low self-esteem impossible. The things that I was told, believing I can do. Personality real bold, my know-how cared for. What this culture lacks, I'm the locksmith. In fact, a breath of fresh air for a drowned rat. Ambassadors for underdogs held back by money, crew appearance, but my words unlatched the gate, making copies of the keys for those that promise to adulate you.
Hey, we the locksmiths, we the locksmiths. Get us set 'em free today. Hey, we the locksmiths, we the locksmiths. Get us set 'em free today. Look, God gave me the vision, hit him with precision. When I see him slipping, man, I gotta go and get him. I was born to be a leader, born to be the man against boys, help them understand. Man, I gotta get myself together. Lately I've been slipping, never been a drinker, but lately I've been sipping. I got a lot to offer, I'm something like a doctor, but all this liquor in me got me feeling sloppy. I mean, I know better, I could flow better when I'm sober, but all this peer pressure got me taking shots of Henny. And if I need more, I know the homies got plenty.
But that encouragement is empty, a temporary high will leave you feeling thirsty, realize a waste of time. But iron sharpens iron, you could be the cheese all great, you grace it old, you knew from hard to smooth and guide to show what you can do.
I'm faced with a choice, God gave me a voice, either use it for his glory or all I'm making is noise. My music used to have a message, I used to speak life, I used to grit the mic and give all the glory to Christ. 18 blazing stages, straight killing them. Every song I performed, they was feeling them. And to be honest, I don't even know what happened. I wish I could go back to when I first started rapping. I was like way close to you, God, but I lost my way. I just pray it ain't too late for me to come back.
You can always find your way, you just gotta take the right steps. This the basement, excellence in the making. I could taste it, lose it all, I quit the faking. Flip the payments, rip the paint, I could take it up. Get the shade away, when I write I tape it shut. I was locked away, mental full of rage. I could flip the page, but I need the pain. You could rip the chains, you could get away. You could scrape the change, find a better way. Unlock my mind, yeah, use me, rock the mic up. A lot to write, ja, I like to write, eyes shut. Hyped up with the white stuff, piped up. Line them up, I don't need a straw to light them up. Fit it way down, piece it, give me the crown, I need it. Ditching the town, I beat it, letting me out the free kid. I beat it up, time to leave it, I heat it up, time to eat it. Meat is the prime of season, feed it on time, don't freeze it. I like to speak to the kids, hope it reaches the ears. Help release all the fears, help me please while I'm here. A lot of peace, got more years, plant some trees while you're here. Build your team, drive and steer, keep it clean, windows clear. Watch the clouds open up, watch the mouths open up. Turn the frowns to hoping up, I want the crowd to growing up. I want to bounce to show them up, show I'm proud, I'm grown enough. Another round, I poured enough, I knock them down and pull them up. I pull them up and free them, I hope I never leave them. Unlock the boat beneath them, I got the code and key in. A lot to mold with reason, the pot to pour the seeds in. I bought to grow the tree in, I got to know the season. I plot to show belief in, our guide controlling reason. The top the golden beacon, don't drop the golden key in. I jot the goals and meet them, to show them how to breed them. I drove them out to see them, I know now I can see it.